guys, what's going on? In this video we're going to talk about the ESP LTD James Hetfield Signature Series Snakebyte guitar. As most of you, as anybody that follows my channel or knows me knows that Hetfield's my biggest inspiration on guitar. Seeing him play is kind of what got me in the guitar, not kind of, is what got me in the guitar. Heavily influenced my style and just how I play in general. So, you know, I mean, ever since I was a kid, man, I've always wanted a Hetfield guitar. And, you know, back then there was limited edition runs like the JH1, the JH2, the JH3, and they were always kind of beyond my budget, being a teenager at the time. So now, here we are, more time later than I would like to admit, but I have a LTD Snakebyte in Snow White. First things first, let's get through the specs on this. This guitar has a set neck construction with a 24 3/4 scale length, mahogany body, 3-piece mahogany neck, a ebony fingerboard, 350mm fingerboard radius, which is 12 inches. Again, this model is in Snow White. You can also get a satin black one. 42mm nut width, which is a molded nut. It's got a thin U neck contour, 22 extra jumbo frets, black hardware, standard strap buttons, LTD locking tuners, Tone Pros locking tune-o-matic bridge and tailpiece, EMG headset in the neck and bridge position, active electronics, and 2 volume knobs and a toggle switch. Comes strung up with D'Addario XL 110s, 10 through 46, and a Snakebyte form-fit hard case is included if you buy it new. Also, for you lefties, both colors do come in a left-handed configuration. The thing that struck me about this guitar when I opened up the case was its overall form factor is a little bit bigger than an Explorer. The upper horn is pretty high, but what shocked me was how thin it was. It's definitely thinner than a Strat, but it's not like flimsy looking or anything like that. The biggest shock when I pulled it out of the case was this thing is light. My Explorers are heavier than this guitar, and I have Strats that are heavier than this guitar. But again, it doesn't feel flimsy. It feels solid. It's just light. And granted, I mean, this is for a guy that, you know, is in his, as of now, late 50s, so I could see why he would probably gravitate towards something that's a little lighter. One thing off the bat that I want to talk about is this thing is really comfortable to play. The contour on the upper horn is really nice and gives you kind of somewhere to kind of lay the forearm on the guitar body. Playing like an Explorer or Flying V, sometimes I can get a little uncomfortable with the forearm. But this thing, I mean, I've played it for hours at a time, and it does not. It's very comfortable. It's just, I don't know how much other than the shape Hetfield had to do with this. I mean, I'm sure the contours are, you know, his idea, but a lot of thought went into making this a very comfortable guitar to play. It sits nice if you're sitting down. Now, people that sit down and play in the classical position might have some issues because the input jack is in line with the volume knobs, so you're gonna probably have a cord hitting you in the leg or just under your leg if you're using a straight cord. I guess that's kind of something you'd run into with a regular Explorer too. The LTD locking tuners are pretty smooth. They feel nice. I would say that they're in line with Fender locking tuners and Hipshot tuners as far as quality. They stay in tune and they're nice and buttery smooth when you're tuning the guitar up, so I would say probably 18:1 ratio. Tone Pros, bridge and tailpiece, you know, quality parts there. The headset, you know, I've made a whole video discussing why I love the headset, so there's not much I can really add there. What I did find odd, going back to the body of the guitar and the contours, is there's a little bit of a contour cut on the lower horn for upper fret access, which is kind of odd for a guy that's not really known for playing lead guitar. So that's kind of a nice touch and a little bit of a more broader appeal than just a guitar that's tailored to his needs, I guess you could say. The fretwork is amazing. No sharp fret ends, no sprout, nothing. The frets are nice and level. They're polished well. Nothing's sharp or sticking out or anything. I mean, it's running your hand up and down the board to play. Nothing's going to snag you or slow you down. The nuts cut good. There's, some of these string angles you can't really get away with a improperly cut nut. So tuning it up, there's no binding or anything like that. The ebony board looks nice. It's not dried out, no cracks or anything like that. The inlays, the snake, which I just now realized after looking at this guitar for however many years it's been around, it just now occurred to me that the snake is also a J. I don't know if I'm an idiot or did anybody else notice that. The inlays are great. I can't find a single imperfection in these inlays. Granted, other than the snake, the rest are dots. It's not like the Kirk Hammett guitars that have spiders or whatever. The guitar, looking at it, you can tell, like, this is a Hetfield guitar. It's a little bit more, it doesn't scream Hetfield like the Iron Cross does, or maybe the Trucksters used to. That's a little bit more subdued in design, other than his signature on the truss rod nut. Very easy to take something like this and make it your own, which many people have done. I mean, look at the Hutchinson guitar concepts. That there's a lot of customized Snakebytes out there, and he did a whole run of them, like the ones that he did for James. If you're a Metallica guy or a Snakebite enthusiast, you know what I'm talking about. Chances are, if you're watching this, you're either A, a Metallica fan, or B, you already know enough about Metallica to know what to expect from a signature guitar from James Hetfield. There's nothing, other than the body shape, there's nothing here that really breaks the mold from what Hetfield is known for playing, and the kind of setups that he's used over the years. I mean, he's basically been a 2-volume and a toggle switch guy for 30 years now. Probably since his first ESP, the Eat Fuck Explorer onwards. With the exception of some Les Pauls and some single cuts here and there. So I mean, there's nothing really that I can get too in depth on as far as electronics and stuff like that. And like I said, I mean, the Het set it's my favorite EMG set. The bridge pickup, it's everything that's great about an EMG 81 and an EMG 60. It's just got that little bit more. It responds well to your picking like a passive pickup would, but it's got that nice consistent sound that an active pickup has in that frequency range. The bridge pickup's brutal for heavy metal and thrash and I mean whatever, but it cleans up nice if you want to play something a little bit more classic rocky or whatever. The bridge pickup, or the neck pickup, it still, in my opinion, has the best clean sound of a active neck pickup out there. The point where I would at least put the neck pickup in probably every guitar I have. That's just how much I like it. It specifically caters to that sound that I'm looking for in a clean tone. Fuck it, I mean, enough talking, let's just get to playing it and see how it goes. So that is the ESP LTD Snakebyte signature James Hetfield guitar, and I fucking love it. Here's the thing, this is the same thing I said about the Kirk Hammett guitar I reviewed. If you're a Metallica fan and this is something that you've been looking into, you're going to find something to love here. Price tag on the LTD model is $1,299 US, which is a lot cheaper than the $4,600 ESP Japanese custom shop guitar. But don't let the price difference fool you. This thing is quality. There's plenty of guys, not so much Hetfield, but there's plenty of guys out there that tour with LTD guitars, and I've seen guys playing LTD Snakebytes up on stage that aren't in Metallica. So these things are solid, they're quality. Obviously, like anything else, there's going to be a guitar that slips through that's maybe not up to snuff, but this is fresh out of the ESP box from, I bought this guitar from Gear Tree, and it came in and I unboxed it and I played it, and now I'm telling you about it. So I didn't do anything to this, I didn't set it up or anything. The action out of the box, perfectly playable, very comfortable. If you're a Metallica fan, if you're a Hetfield fan, or even if you just want a killer fucking guitar, you really can't go wrong with this. I mean, this covers a lot of bases. Obviously, it's a very specific shape for very specific people. It's a little non-traditional in its appearance, but fans of offset guitars or non-traditional Strat and single cut and telly shapes, I think could find a lot to love here, even if they aren't Metallica fans. Because this guitar, like I said, it doesn't scream Metallica. You could probably get away with playing this at your church group on Sundays. But like I said, all in all, fantastic fucking instrument, and I highly recommend it, especially if you're a Metallica fan. Anyways, guys, if you could take the time to rate, comment, subscribe, every little interaction helps. I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch, and we'll see you in the next one.